वेल, मुझे बहुत खुशी हो रही है आप सभी के साथ आज बातचीत करने का मौका मिलेगा। आई डोंट नो विच लैंग्वेज आई शुड अडॉप्ट। मिक्सचर करूं या इंग्लिश में बोलूं या हिंदी में, जो भी आप ठीक समझें। कैसा रहेगा? या बोलचाल की भाषा। जो जो पार्टिसिपेंट्स हैं कहाँ कहाँ से हैं मैडम? कैन आई?
महाराष्ट्र से है और नॉर्थ इंडिया की भी है सर।
अच्छा।
और साउथ इंडिया की भी है।
ओके। सो
हाँ।
वेल देन let me adopt a mixture, and mostly I don't know much of English, so maybe simple English. So today, well, you have been talking earlier uh, as far as learning outcome, learning strategies, and all those things. Definitely very very technical things you are exposed to. Today, I'm taking up academic leadership, and I would like to discuss this topic in view of the current situation, National Education Policy 2020, and the challenges which we have, because any policy, any program can be effectively implemented only with good leadership. Good leadership, good governance, a good management system. As you know, this policy which has come, और अभी 5 साल हो गए। 5 सालों में आपने इस पॉलिसी के अलग अलग रूप देखे हैं। कुछ पार्शियली इम्प्लीमेंट भी किया जा रहा है, कुछ इसके बारे में अभी बहुत सी अंडरस्टैंडिंग भी नहीं हो पाई है, और साथ में क्या एक्सपेक्ट किया जा रहा है इस पॉलिसी के अंदर, उसको अभी तक पूरी तरह से इम्प्लीमेंट नहीं किया गया है। और बहुत से इम्पोर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट्स हैं मैनेजमेंट के, एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन के, गवर्नेंस के, which need to be further, I will say, designed, accepted, approved. Those all things we will be discussing. मेरी आपसे रिक्वेस्ट रहेगी और अच्छा रहेगा अगर हम बीच बीच में बातचीत भी करें, और मैं भी जानना चाहूँगा कि आपकी इंस्टीट्यूशंस में टू व्हाट लेवल न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी को इम्प्लीमेंट किया जा रहा है। सो first of all, what I'm going to discuss in this lecture, first is, of course, the new perspectives which have been given in this policy. New vision, new perspective, new way of looking at the things that we will discuss. Second is that because of new perspective, and to bring about the desired policy changes, implement those. Now, there are many issues and many challenges. We would be discussing that aspect also. And third is, if India is to become super knowledge power, as we say, and that we say very forcefully, then education is the main instrument. Through education. But how to do it? It requires good governance, management, and over and above academic leadership. So you see here, academic leadership is at the foundation. Whatever policy we have, whatever ideas we have, whatever vision we have, but if our leadership is weak, well, the desired results cannot be reaped. Therefore, uh, emphasis we would like to have on academic leadership. So, first of all, now let me start with the new perspective. Now, you see the slide?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Mhm. Well, so first of all, now what is the new perspective? How this policy is new policy? What is there in it? Of course, you are already sensitized, और I can say क्योंकि 5 सालों से हम इसके बारे में सुन रहे हैं, काफी सेमिनार और काफी डिस्कशंस एट इंस्टीट्यूशन लेवल, मीडिया में तरह तरह की इस तरह से जो इंफॉर्मेशन हम तक पहुंचती है, वी नो that there are certain new emphasis, and the main emphasis is that India is to become a superpower, and for becoming superpower, no, it has to become super knowledge power. So it is stressed in this. It is the first policy which is relating to the developmental imperatives, that education to be related with the national development. So not merely education for the sake of education, but for the national development. So India, which is developing very fast and emerging as one of the first 5 economies in the world, and it intends to surpass that. If it is so, then naturally education must be related, must be connected with the development of the nation. Then another thing about this policy is that it suggests revision and revamping of the educational structure. यानी नया सिस्टम और नया पर्सपेक्टिव, बहुत सी चीजें, जैसे अगर आप कहें कि रिवैम्पिंग कैसे हो रही है या रिवीजन कैसे हो रहा है, देन पहली बात तो ये है कि आपका जो हायर एजुकेशन में 3 ईयर डिग्री कोर्स, उसको 4 ईयर डिग्री कोर्स, दैट इज वन ऑप्शन. As you know, that graduation with research, and then also PG program, in which if there is integrated program also. So there are a lot of flexibility, and then no choice. So multidisciplinarity, you have a discretion in entry as well as exit. So friends, there is a lot of innovation or changes, and which definitely disturbs the existing system. Why I'm saying disturb? because this system needs to be changed. And oftenly, we are not accustomed to accept the change. So change is always resisted. So up till now, for example, this why this type of program, why this type of course? It is basically because we are resistant to change. Not very easy. For example, when it is mentioned that you will have a 4-year degree course, then many universities came forward that, okay, we will start immediately. They started thinking that, okay, 3-year course already we have, we will add 1 more year. And actually, what was expected? Not necessarily they have gone through that. It is not that you continue 3-year course, earlier 3-year course, and first MA you add as the 4th year. So many people did like that. But that is not the purpose. You see, the whole curriculum, syllabus, that needs to be revamped with a new perspective. That what is the objective now when you are talking about the learning outcomes? Ultimately, what is the outcome? What you are expecting and why it has been done? So what I mean to say that it's not so simple. You see, one is a change. कि थोड़ा थोड़ा आप बदलाव लाते हैं, that we may call a change. But when we overhaul the system, you change the whole system, you restructure it, then much is expected. So even the regulation, even the governance, earlier the regulatory system is very complicated, complex regulatory system, and multi regulatory agencies like UGC, you have a AICTE, you have a NCTE, you have a VCI. There are 15 such councils which regulate, as well as the government departments. So many times आपने अपने इंस्टीट्यूशन में देखा होगा कि अगर फार्मेसी का कोर्स है तो कोई फार्मेसी काउंसिल से कोई टीम आई है, बीएड का कॉलेज कोर्स है तो एनसीटीई की टीम आई है या यूजीसी की टीम आई है, आए दिन कोई ना कोई टीम आई है फॉर इंस्पेक्शन. So regulatory system, and interestingly, the regulatory system is also complicated at the one side. Other is also in conflict with other agencies like AICTE governing management education. UGC is also regulating. So you find there is a conflict in the norms also. So now it is planned to have one centralized regulatory system. So maybe one window, single window serving. You need not to go after many regulatory agencies. You have one regulatory agency. But then how it is to be done is not as simple also, because developing that system, because India is such a diverse country, it's not so easy. But that is what is recommended. And of course, we are moving towards that also. So revision, revamping, not even the academic leadership. Normally, any person you put as the head of institution, and we expect that the results will be good. Particularly, you say that a highly accomplished person, very good academician, researcher, you make him vice chancellor. It's not sure that he will be successful. The reason is that the complications, the environment, the regulatory system, which requires proper understanding as well as dealing with people, that requires a different type set of skills. So, well, uh, this new perspective, that means it also poses a challenge. Now, NEP suggests that on the one hand, there must be some control over the institutions. Because ultimately they should lead towards the vision of the nation, the overall mission. They must contribute in that. If they are working in contradiction, then of course the objective is not achieved. So therefore, of course, system must be directed towards some destination properly. On the other hand, institutions should have the flexibility, should have autonomy, should have some freedom for creativity. And as I told you, that it is expected that every institution provides more options, more flexibility, more choice, and convenience of the learner. So all those things naturally put, of course, some challenges or issues, of course, about which I will talk later also. So they need flexibility. They need for innovation, for creativity. No, you definitely need a flexibility. You need autonomy. So new perspective is light and tight. But on the one side, all institutions or whole system should be moved towards certain direction, and that is becoming a super knowledge power. But at the same time, light means the flexibility, autonomous structures. The next is providing conducive environment to the learners. So creating a learning environment, that's the main focus of the policy. That learning environment which is engaging, which is enjoyable, which is creative. Now, how to create that type of environment? Now, definitely this perspective requires, of course, proper governance or leadership. Making a progressive, flexible, actually, you know that NEP is only a small document of 60 pages. But every para, every sentence, or every word means a lot. Now, new perspective, as I told you, that making it a progressive, that education related with the national development, flexible, that it is dynamic, it incorporates, it fulfills the needs of everyone, multidisciplinary, that it is not, threadbare specialization, but multidisciplinarity. Like, life is a multidisciplinarity. It is a science as well as art. That whatever we do in our life, we can't do with the science or we can't do with the humanities or with the literature, but we can do it collectively. So similarly, education, because education is related with the life, so it must be having multidisciplinary perspective. So this is a new perspective given. Another very important is that it is technology driven, skill focused education system. As you know that in all education institutions, now we talk about skill-based education, that it must develop certain practices, the knowledge which can be applied in practice. So skill based and technology. So technology is in the heart of modern education, whether it is learning or it is research or it is uh, making education relevant. Technology is playing very important role as we are also interacting with the help of technology. Then another perspective is change employment landscape and create a global ecosystem. So creating a global perspective that we are not preparing citizens for India only, but for the global needs also. And the overall employment landscape, as you see, that there is more orientation towards now private employment, self-employment, partial employment, and these days, work from home. So those all now the whole overall landscape of the employment is changing. Like earlier, we were relying more on government jobs, but now the perspective is changed to a greater extent. So it's not only what to learn, but how to learn. Now this perspective is also changing. So that what NEP very rightly observes. Now we learn through what? Creating a critical thinking. It is not a parrot type learning. Similarly, multidisciplinarity or creativity, adopt, adapt, absorb. Now these terms are used in NEP which mean a lot. So the overall perspective, overall landscape of employment is undergoing a fantastic change. And for that, now the education has to be proactive or it must respond to meet these needs. Then another perspective which is developing is pedagogy. Now change in the pedagogy, change of teaching method. As you know, we didn't hear earlier what is a learning outcome, what is a course outcome, or what is program outcome. All those things are being measured because the learner has started asking question. Now, why I am learning this? What is the use? If it is not useful, it is not as per desired outcomes, then it is a wasting of effort. So therefore, now the pedagogy of teaching is also undergoing change. Like we have experiential, holistic learning, integrated learning. So it is not only focused at the mind or creating ideas, but also it is related with the other dimensions of the personality, integrated, inquiry driven, discovery oriented, so research oriented teaching or learning, learner centered. So by up till now, our learning or teaching is more subject oriented or teacher centric, whatever I think proper. Like you see, when we develop a course or syllabus, do we really ask the students? We don't ask the horse, which grass to eat or which food he will enjoy. But we exercise our own judgment and we think that, okay, this is better for our students. So done. I think which is not fair, which is not fair. So now new perspective is that let it be learner centric. So what is good for the learner, what he is to learn, and how he would like to learn. No, that choice should be based on these questions. That means learner is most important in the whole teaching and learning process or in education system. Discussion based. So we learn more by discussion, by interaction, flexible and enjoyable and engaged. So that's again a challenge how to make learning enjoyable. And engagement is another word which has become popular in the recent years. That they really feel part of the learning. Otherwise, many times it is happening that in the classroom we speak, but we don't know whether they are engaged in it or not, they are learning or not, or they take interest in it or not. Then internationalization of education, that we know that now international universities have also started coming, and there is a lot of scope and there is a chance of having good competition not only in India, but our institutions also going outside and establishing their own centers or universities. So that's again a new perspective, and I think the system has to get ready for that. Technology driven, as in the opening remarks, I told that technology is very important, whether it is planning of education, it is teaching, it is learning, it is assessment, it is regulation. You see, everywhere now technology is playing predominant role. So uh, again, that's to be attended. Innovative, innovative pedagogy. As I told you that earlier also, this innovative pedagogy, like experienced or flipped classrooms, one thing which I would like to discuss with you. Do you know what is flipped classroom? I think अभी आप लोगों ने पढ़ा होगा, लर्निंग का ही चल रहा है. Can I, can someone tell me? शेयर, और अच्छा रहेगा अगर बातचीत करेंगे तो. यस 49 मैडम, फ्लिप्ड क्लासरूम के बारे में डू यू हैव सम आइडिया? यस.
Sir, I think it is the teaching through video or recording.
Okay. Any other?
Again, application-based activities like discussion, problem solving, group work.
Oh. You see, earlier, what we how we are teaching, we take a subject, prepare like I'm doing. This is the traditional way now, and we leave it to the students. And next day when they come, then we ask, what is the question, any clarification, anything you would like to know, and we revise the course. That is general methodology we are using. But in the flipped classrooms, now this is just reverse of it. The classroom becomes only, what is to be done at home, that is done in the classroom. So in home, what we do, we prepare we do the homework, we prepare. Same thing is to be done in the classroom. So what we do is that now today we have a lot of knowledge and there is information overload. Rather, पहले जब हम लोग पढ़ते थे तो बहुत कम लिटरेचर होता था, बहुत कम बुक्स होती थी। तो नोट्स बनाते थे, पढ़ते थे, एक को कई बार पढ़ते थे, एक ही किताब होती थी, उसी से एमए हो जाता था, एक कोर्स का एक सेमेस्टर हो जाता था। नाउ इट हैज रिवर्स्ड, सो देयर वाज a scarcity of knowledge resources also, but today now there is a lot of knowledge. With the artificial intelligence, now things are becoming much more, uh, you can say, complicated as well as simpler. So now what we do, we in the flipped classrooms, we just introduce to the students to the available information and tell them, okay, now you go through it, and next day we'll have a just sharing on that. So whatever additional you want to add as a teacher, you will add. So now this is reverse. Because now whatever, now for example, I am talking here, maybe many things which I am sharing with you, that is not 100% true. Okay, so there may be gaps, and you can check it as a student. You say, no, actually, now the artificial intelligence says, or Google Baba says, this, and whatever you said is not correct. If I say that India's population is 140 crores, but then someone will come up, according to Google, the exact is this. So you're not telling the fact. So what I mean to say that now new thing, which new perspective is that our focus, our emphasis is that our students become more creative. Our students become more flexible in their approach, in their thinking. And for that purpose, the knowledge, information is there, but how critically they can bring out the relevant information. So that way, now you imagine the role of a teacher, which is changing. So similarly, emerging learning ecosystem. So all together, what we have mentioned here, the new ecosystem, learning system is emerging, and I think you are undergoing this course and you will have many new ideas or new perspectives. Now, what we are expecting in the new era of higher education in India, architecture for higher education, there will be large, the size of the university will be large and well resourced. So not like this, that we have less resources, many universities, many institutions, colleges, they are starving of funds or resources. So what is expected in the future, that because the higher education will become more self-reliant, will be having multiple sources of information. And it is also expected that some universities, big universities, there is a concept of MERU, multidisciplinary education and research universities. So these universities may have more than 20,000 students in the campus, you can imagine. It is said that the earlier universities in India, like Takshashila or Nalanda, they were huge institutions. So campus-based or residential institutions, that is, so when such a huge institutions are there, naturally there is a challenge for the management and administration of such institutions. Professional, vocational, teacher education as integral part of higher education. So now different streams which were going in different directions, now there will be interdisciplinarity. That you can pursue a vocational course, you can pursue some course from education as well as from science. Model universities, as I told you, that multidisciplinarity education and research universities. Another ABC. May I know what is this ABC? Academic Bank of Credits? Any one of you, please?
Sir, good afternoon.
Yeah.
Academic Bank of Credit is like a bank wherein the students' credits are been deposited, or what we can say, it has been saved on. So this Academic Bank of Credit is helpful for the student for the further studies, for the higher education. What I know to my context is
Okay.
that is.
Is there any teacher from a university where ABC is being implemented? The university is registered for ABC and now they have started operating bank account for the students. कोई है आप कोई ऐसी यूनिवर्सिटी को
Sir,
एग्जांपल
yes,
में?
sir. In our university, it is implemented from Guwahati University of Assam, sir.
Oh, very
From
good.
2023, the first semester course of FYUGP started. So from that year also, sir, ABC account is created by the students. And if the students have no ABC account, then their results are not declared, sir.
Okay.
The result declaration is directly connected with the ABC account via Samart portal.
Yes, sir. Even in Maharashtra, Savitribai Phule Pune University makes a mandatory to the students to have a ABC account.
Okay, nice. So many universities have registered and they have opened, you can say, this ABC account. A student has ABC account, and the basic purpose is that student will not suffer. Maybe due to some reasons he has to discontinue his studies in a particular university. Then he can carry these credits earned in that university to other university. So that's a very nice system. But now whatever information which we get, abhi tak, this system is not really working, not functional in the sense that you have opened account and credits are accumulated in the account of the student. But do other universities or other institutions allow you to earn credits and that get accumulated? Because the diversity of institutions in a country is so wide that many institutions won't like the degree is imparted from that institution to, like for example, some person comes from a university with a moderate ranking and wants to earn some credits in IIM or IIT. So will they allow? There are many question marks. Only thing is that, well, you have opened the account. Yes. Yeah, please. बोलिए. Anyone has to say something? Can you give me any such example that where student has been able to carry on the credits to other institution?
I think so, yet not, sir. To my, again, the same, yet not.
Yes. So whatever, formal thing which can be done, we have done. But but what will happen? Because what we are imagining, this policy, sometime I think that it's on certain aspects, it's very, very ideal. Or idealism, in idealism in practice, many things fail when it comes to putting it into practice. But at least one thing is there, that in your university you have ABC, so your students or student knows that I have this many credits. That is nothing. I don't think that's a really innovation. It is only creating one more structure. So the success of ABC, of course, will depend on number of changes, number of innovations which are to be carried out. So what I am trying to make is a case for leadership, that the leadership at the institution level or at the national level need a lot of thinking and making it more rational. Then holistic, multidisciplinary, flexible academic structure. So again, whatever is the academic structure, like the existing academic structure, will it suit to the requirements of the overall structure required for meeting these perspectives or these demands? Well, there is a need for that type of structure, and these structural changes are required. Graded autonomy, academic, financial, administrative. That the institutions, it suggests that institutions, as I told you earlier, must get autonomy. They must be free in terms of their syllabus, their administration, as well as their financial aspect. One very important recommendation is that affiliating system will go. Now, at present, there are universities with 1,000 colleges or 1,500 colleges, normally 600, 700 colleges affiliated to the university. So university is not able to do justice with teaching and research, because most of the time is spent in examination, in admission, in agitation, in examination, and administration. So teaching and research is missing. So it is suggested that let this aspect be decentralized. So affiliated colleges, it was mentioned that by 2030, we should have colleges with autonomous status. So affiliated colleges to become autonomous colleges. So degree granting colleges. So they can grant a degree. And the autonomous colleges must move to become the universities. GER ratio, that it must, the gross enrollment ratio must reach 50% by 2035. At present, it is about 30%. So it must be 50%. So it means the existing structure may not be sufficient. You may need more universities, more colleges, and then open and distance learning. So that is also being encouraged in this policy, ODL courses. So all universities will be able to start, or they will have that autonomy to start these courses. Now, this is a new perspective broadly जो मैं आपसे डिस्कस किया. This is the new way of you can say new perspective or new things which are emerging in educational policy. There are many others too, but these are broadly which I've shared with you. Now comes the main issue and challenge for governance, management, and leadership. The greatest challenge is to create a structure of the institution. Like, the earlier universities which we generally refer to, Takshashila, Nalanda, Vikramshila, Vallabhi, which were, the institution with the multidisciplinarity. History shows that these universities, some universities were specialized, like grammar, some art and culture. But even then, they were multidisciplinary universities. And there were, हम कहते हैं 64 कलाएं, the 64 streams of knowledge were there. like we have many faculties, or we have many different disciplines. So this is a challenge to create such a huge universities, and how to manage. Then create a culture of innovation and excellence. So again, I will say the flexibility, imagination, the vision of the leader, the overall environment of learning, creativity. So those all things, that culture, to create that culture is a challenge. Like mostly our education institutions which are adversely affected by many things which are happening outside the system, not within the system. That means the outside inputs or outside agencies, like even the government, the politics. Now they are adversely affecting the culture of the universities. Self-governance. Now in self-governance, of course, it is suggested that there will be board of governors, that every institution will have board of governors, and board of governors will be determining or taking decisions with regard to whether it is curriculum, it is new courses, it is financing, or meeting the requirements of the regulatory agencies. So board of governors will be the governing. Now, normally in universities, of course, there are executive councils or syndicate or senates, but many government colleges, now it is the Department of Education, which is controlling or regulating, or you can say running the institutions. लेकिन क्या वो ठीक है? NEP says no, क्योंकि इतने जब पर्सपेक्टिव चेंज हो रहा है, होलिस्टिक डेवलपमेंट की बात हो रही है, मल्टी डिसिप्लिनरी की बात हो रही है, और जो ओवरऑल क्रिएशन ऑफ culture, learning culture. So for that, what you require is the governance, self-governance. So of course, as I also shared earlier, light but tight system. So that's a challenge. Meeting all regulatory guidelines. So that's again a challenge, because earlier now we are accustomed. What is the requirement of A council, B council, C council? But now to have some unified system of regulation is itself a main challenge. Multidisciplinarity, Abhi, I think you can share your views. How difficult it is becoming, that the student of arts says that I want physics, I want mathematics, or mathematics student says I want music. Now, one challenge is to have all courses, this type of courses in the institution. And another greatest challenge is teachers. So having a number of teachers, perhaps that's not easy for any institution to afford discipline in all subjects. So multidisciplinarity is itself a challenge. Similarly, multilingualism, now you say that, okay, student has a choice, student can pursue his studies, higher studies in different languages. So again, to have teachers in different languages is not easy. And then challenge is innovation, creativity. So it's itself a great challenge. Then institutional development plan. So now every institution जिस पर्सपेक्टिव की हम बात कर रहे हैं उसको पूरा करने के लिए मस्ट हैव इंस्टीट्यूशनल डेवलपमेंट प्लान, एंड टू prepare that plan, to implement that plan requires expertise. It is not easy. So some universities, some institutions have started having their IDP, but it's a challenge, how to prepare and how to implement. Choice-based credit system. So this system, I think in your institutions, you must have started choice-based credit system. Any person from any university?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So how it works? Can you give some insight?
Sir, actually, with the implementation of NEP last year, this got introduced. And before that, 1 year before that, also the university, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, Marathwada University implemented the choice-based credit system. And so far, as you said in earlier slide, no, that the creditization and to use that credits, these things are still, not clear enough. That how students are going to use those credits and how they continue their further studies with those credits. And one more thing, sir, actually, credits. I mean, we are not yet reached to that point where the actual credits will be used or not used. That will be clear to us, because multiple entry and multiple exit, that aspect is still not implement. We not it is implemented, but not used by any. No, I mean, we are not aware about the cases, like whether they are used or not. So that's the point. And we are still, I mean, we are still in the middle of NEP. We have not completed single batch of NEP. So that is also that we are not having experience of that yet to come, that experience. So that is the point, sir.
Yes, any other experience? You see, I think what you share, it is happening in most of the universities. In many universities, there was earlier system of options, minor, major. So just people have changed the name and made it a choice-based credit system. While choice-based credit system must cut across the boundaries of the disciplines, right? So this is one thing which is not really truly happening. And other thing is, as you told, that credits still, we are struggling how to prepare even the timetable for choice-based credit system. So even if it is implemented, it cannot be fully implemented. Looking at our situation in Indian conditions, where the number of students are more, the subjects, how these students can be accommodated and their choice can be accommodated. There are a number of problems, I think, which choice-based credit system is facing. But again, who is to do? Of course, we have to have a system, we have to have a regulation or governance or management where it can be implemented. Then comes students' participation in decision-making bodies, committees, processes. So to make education student-centric, students' participation. So I doubt there is any university where maybe some where you have associated students in board of studies or in faculties. If it is done, mostly it is just a formality. Idea is making education student-centric. But then are students really, number one, mature enough? And other, whether our system accepts or not. That's again a major issue. Then enhance learning experience, feedback and needs of the students. So how we can really enhance learning experience? Until we have feedback that, how the students view or students rate their learning experience, perhaps we will not be able to implement. Similarly, effective leadership and management skills. So that is again a challenge, that how to have people in the management of the organizations or the institutions who are effective, who are really able to contribute effectively or manage institutions effectively. So, well, then coming to the teacher, are you able to see my slide?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir. But sir, the roll number 38 is annotating slides. So that is also we are seeing, and that is
Yeah,
disturbing.
yeah.
Yes,
I
sir.
don't know why, what he wants to say.
No,
I'm also,
actually,
yes.
maybe he is not aware about that he is annotating the slide. We have to, I mean, co-host have to
Yes.
stop him or remove his access to do that. Maybe.
Roll
I
number
thought,
38.
yeah, I was thinking that maybe, something is wrong with the, yes, some virus has come.
No, sir, no.
अभी जो एक बहुत बड़ा चैलेंज जो मैनेजमेंट में आएगा, जो गवर्नेंस में, यू हैव हर्ड इट ना, कि अब नाउ देयर विल बी रीस्ट्रक्चरिंग ऑफ द इंस्टीट्यूशन, जिसका मैंने थोड़ा सा रेफरेंस आपको दिया था, दैट देयर विल बी 3 टाइप्स ऑफ इंस्टीट्यूशंस.
सर एक सेकंड, एक सवाल था इस संबंध में, जो चॉइस बेस्ड क्रेडिट सिस्टम की आप बात कर रहे थे सर.
हाँ हाँ प्लीज.
सर मैं ये जानना चाह रहा था, क्या एनईपी 2020 की ये नेसेसिटी थी चॉइस बेस्ड क्रेडिट सिस्टम? अगर हम ये सिस्टम ना लाएं तो क्या एनईपी 2020 वर्क नहीं करेगी? एक्चुअली क्या हो रहा है सर, हम लोग जो हैं सब्जेक्ट्स को थोप रहे हैं बच्चों पर. जो फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी की बात कर रहे हैं वो तो फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी मिल ही नहीं पा रही है बच्चों को. और सर दिक्कत ये आती है कि उसे चाहिए तो इंग्लिश, हम लोग उसे मिलिट्री साइंस दे दे रहे हैं जबरदस्ती. उसे चाहिए मिलिट्री साइंस, हम इंग्लिश थोप दे रहे हैं बच्चों को माइनर के रूप में या मेजर के रूप में. तो ये जो फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी की बात हम कर रहे हैं, जो कि मेन फंडामेंटल प्रिंसिपल था एनईपी 2020 का, और हम इधर चॉइस बेस्ड क्रेडिट सिस्टम की बात कर रहे हैं, तो वहां तो सर दिक्कतें आ रही हैं बहुत ज्यादा ग्राउंड लेवल पे. इसके संबंध में आपके क्या विचार हैं सर?
यू आर वेरी मच राइट. वही
Excuse
मैं
me,
बात
sir.
आपसे सुनना चाह रहा था, एंड यू हैव सेड इट.
Excuse me,
एक्चुअली
sir.
देखिए, प्रॉब्लम्स इतनी सिंपल नहीं है. ये सारा सीबीसीएस सिस्टम जो है, वो इंस्टीट्यूशंस हैं जहाँ मे बी सिंगल फैकल्टी इंस्टीट्यूशन, जैसे आईआईटी है या आईआईएम है, अब उनको भी मल्टी डिसिप्लिनरी यूनिवर्सिटीज बना रहे हैं. तो वहाँ लिमिटेड सब्जेक्ट्स हैं और उनमें चॉइस हम दे रहे हैं. जैसे आपने कहा कि ऑप्शनल सब्जेक्ट्स हैं, उसमें आपके पास ऑप्शंस हैं जो डिफरेंट स्ट्रीम्स हैं. उसके अंदर भी वी आर नॉट एबल टू प्रोवाइड चॉइस ऑफ द स्टूडेंट्स. द रीजन इज, यू सी दी, इट हैज इम्प्लीकेशन, यू हैव टू हैव ए न्यू फैकल्टी. इसलिए कर रहे हैं ना, हमारे पास अवेलेबल नहीं है एक्सपर्टीज, तो इसलिए जो कोर्स हम ऑफर कर सकते हैं कर रहे हैं. लेकिन क्योंकि मल्टी डिसिप्लिनरिटी डज नॉट गो विद इन द डिसिप्लिन बट गोज बियॉन्ड द डिसिप्लिन. अभी हम जो भी कर रहे हैं, कोशिश कर रहे हैं कई कुछ जगह पे, तो कुछ स्ट्रीम खोली हैं कि ओके यू आर फ्रॉम द, like even we to greater in 2012 we implemented in Central University Dharmshala, and what we did, that we gave 2 courses skill based and 2 courses value based, and we asked every discipline to offer 2 courses, value based and skill based, so that students had a choice. So even a student of economics could get a course in mathematics. So those courses were elementary, which can improve their skills in particular area, maybe calculation, maybe numerical skills, or in any subject for that matter. So that was a limited choice-based credit system, but it was having interdisciplinary perspective, cutting across the disciplines. लेकिन अभी हम क्या वो कर पा रहे हैं नहीं कर पा रहे हैं, इट इज डाउटफुल। तो मोस्टली जैसे मैंने आपको बताया, जो पहले वाला सिस्टम है उसी को हम चॉइस बेस्ड क्रेडिट सिस्टम कह के कर रहे हैं। और दूसरी प्रॉब्लम जो आपने कही, क्योंकि हमारे पास अवेलेबल फैकल्टी नहीं है, एक्सपर्टीज नहीं है, सो व्हाट वी आर डूइंग इज इम्पोजिंग ऑन द स्टूडेंट्स। तो आई थिंक उससे तो बेटर है, इम्पोजिशन से तो बात सर्व नहीं हो रही है, जिसमें उसका इंटरेस्ट नहीं है, वो पढ़ना नहीं चाहता उसको। सो ऑफ कोर्स दीज आर वेरी वेरी जेन्युइन प्रॉब्लम्स। तो उसके सोल्यूशन के लिए अब एनईपी सजेस्ट करती है कि वाई नॉट टू हैव यूनिवर्सिटीज। और यूनिवर्सिटीज दो तरह की यूनिवर्सिटीज, क्योंकि अभी कई तरह की यूनिवर्सिटीज हैं। यू हैव सेंट्रल यूनिवर्सिटीज, यू हैव स्टेट यूनिवर्सिटीज, यू हैव प्राइवेट यूनिवर्सिटीज, you have deemed to be universities. So the category of universities and educational institutions is so many that you are not able to regulate on the one side, or you are not able to provide this flexibility or choice to the students. तो जैसे अभी सजेस्ट क्या किया कि लेट्स हैव टीचिंग इंटेंसिव यूनिवर्सिटीज, यानी ये इसलिए शायद सोचा होगा कि जो एफिलिएटेड कॉलेजेस हैं उनको भी अल्टीमेटली, ये ऑटोनोमस कॉलेजेस हैं, उनको यूनिवर्सिटी बनाना है तो टीचिंग यूनिवर्सिटी ही बनेंगी, क्योंकि वहाँ रिसर्च अभी ज़्यादा नहीं हो रही है। सो वो जो इंस्टीट्यूशन जिनमें रिसर्च का लेवल, जो स्टैंडर्ड है और जो कुछ मेजरमेंट वो रखेंगे, उसको पूरा नहीं करता है, देन इट विल बी टीचिंग यूनिवर्सिटी। और टीचिंग यूनिवर्सिटीज में मोर फोकस विल बी ऑन टीचिंग। अब आप देखिए, जब हम रिसर्च यूनिवर्सिटी की तरफ बढ़ते हैं, देन इन एडिशन टू टीचिंग, ऐसा नहीं है कि रिसर्च यूनिवर्सिटी विल नॉट टीच। लाइक अभी जो एग्जिस्टिंग सिस्टम है उसके अंदर बहुत सी ऐसी स्ट्रीम्स हैं जहां मोर फोकस इज ऑन रिसर्च, जैसे एग्रीकल्चर यूनिवर्सिटीज हैं, तो मोर एम्फोसिस इज ऑन रिसर्च, वो एक कोर्स चलाते हैं, दैट्स ऑल। तो अभी जो थिंकिंग है वो ये है कि रिसर्च भी हो और एकेडमिक भी हो। सो एक यूनिवर्सिटी विद ए सर्टेन लेवल ऑफ रिसर्च विल बी टर्म्ड एज रिसर्च यूनिवर्सिटी। अगर उसके नीचे है देन इट इज टीचिंग यूनिवर्सिटी। सो इन लॉन्ग रन इट मे हैपन दैट सम रिसर्च यूनिवर्सिटी इज डिमोटेड एज ए टीचिंग यूनिवर्सिटी, और टीचिंग यूनिवर्सिटी इज प्रमोटेड एज ए रिसर्च यूनिवर्सिटी। Similarly, autonomous degree granting colleges. So all affiliated colleges will become autonomous degree granting colleges. So now categories of the institutions, categories of the universities, they have tried that become simplified. और शायद चॉइस बेस्ड क्रेडिट सिस्टम जब ऐसी यूनिवर्सिटी हो, for example, you are saying teaching university, where you have all subjects, all disciplines, all तो नहीं होगा, most of the disciplines are there, so students can have then choice. अभी तो कोई यूनिवर्सिटी, जो बड़ी से बड़ी यूनिवर्सिटीज हैं, पुरानी से पुरानी यूनिवर्सिटीज हैं, मे बी they are in that position to offer subjects of the choice of the students. So when this comes up, I think maybe then choice-based credit system will be implemented more effectively, as I think. Okay, do you agree with this? क्योंकि जब बड़ी यूनिवर्सिटी होगी, 15-20 हजार स्टूडेंट होंगे और मैक्सिमम सब्जेक्ट्स होंगे, so the students will have the choice.
सर जिस कॉलेज से मैं बिलोंग करता हूँ उसमें ही 10-12 हजार बच्चा पढ़ता है सर।
It is autonomous college?
नो सर, इट इज ए गवर्नमेंट एडेड कॉलेज,
Okay.
एफिलिएटेड कॉलेज।
कहाँ पे है?
सर ये अलीगढ़ में है, उत्तर प्रदेश से अलीगढ़।
Okay.
राजा महेंद्र प्रताप सिंह यूनिवर्सिटी है, जो कि अभी न्यूली क्रिएटेड है, 3-4 साल पहले ही बनी है। उसका एक एफिलिएट कॉलेज धर्म समाज कॉलेज अलीगढ़।
Okay.
जी
Sir, on our side, we are providing them the teacher intensive or teaching intensive or research intensive. That choice is from our side, sir. That we are being sufficient, that we are providing some choice. But my question is whether our students are enough mature to be, to able to choose in sync with their prospective career or what. That is also need to be, understood. Uh, because I think our students are not enough mature or not aware about how to choose the subject
Hmm.
to be interdisciplinary. They're randomly choosing something that they find okay. This subject I know I need to read and just to give exam and get the credit. But they are not thinking about what way this interdisciplinary will help me in my career or my further studies. So that is also, and the solution to this can be to provide academic counseling in sync with the career counseling. That will, I think, make more informed decision from the student side, sir. So that is, I think, sir.
I think I'm happy that you have given the solution also. One very important factor which has led to this situation is that our lower education system, the school system, is having lot of defects. The students who are coming to the college, actually, they are not well acquainted or they are not well aware, and that weakness is there in our school education. So this policy, of course, talks of revamping that system also. So I hope in the future, when student is more informed, you are very much right that masses, it is happening throughout the country. And when I visit some colleges in the rural area, you see, they are not aware why are they are come to the college. But to talk about uh, having a choice. So I went to one college and I asked him that, what do you want to do? He said, I want to be a professor. I said, why you want to be a professor? No reason. And then what he told is that his cousin is professor, so I want to be a professor. So it's not an informed choice. So you are very much right that academic counseling is what very important when we should do that, and that is why UGC or even in this system uh, in NEP also the one word which has been used is mentorship. So mentoring the students, that means guiding them not only once but throughout their uh, college days, that can solve the problem. But as I told you, and perhaps I have not told, but you know it, that all teachers are overworked, and particularly with the regulation, with assessment, many of you are struggling to collect data, to prepare reports, and the work, the overall workload is also more. So with if you are to make choice-based credit system operational, then naturally the burden will increase more. So, and as Dr. Umindra, he was telling that you have a very large colleges, but these colleges are day colleges. So what we are imagining and what we are expecting that these residential universities will be there, which because our purpose is to have holistic development or all-round development of the student, and that naturally requires a closer supervision or closer uh, interaction. So again, it is a challenge now to manage these institutions. Yes. So I think we can have any question or anything you would like to share अभी तक जो हमने डिस्कस किया है. क्योंकि अभी हम सोल्यूशन की तरफ आएंगे, गवर्नेंस. have you heard about this Higher Education Commission of India?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Just renaming of UGC
it is renaming.
or
Any other?
updation, or updation we can say.
Hmm. Yes, any other?
One more thing, sir. Clubbing of UGC, AICT, and
Hmm.
other things that will be covered under one tag. This.
As I shared with you that at present there is multiplicity of institutions which are regulating higher education. Just for example, you have state universities under the State Act, you have central universities under the Central Act, you have private universities, Act of Different States, Private Universities Act. Similarly, you have the deemed universities. So multiplicity of institutions are there, and regulatory system is also very complicated. And we know there is a corruption also to get a approval, to get recognition. So now how to take care of that? Similarly, what is happening? Grants. So if you are a engineering institution, you are management institution, you are getting grant from UGC, also you are getting grant also from the AICTE. So granting agencies are also different and their norms are also different. So multiplicity is there. Similarly, when it comes to academic standards, then again academic standards. Now, when you talk about NCTE, National Council of Teacher Education, now they have their own uh, council, so own academic standards. But are these academic standards suitable to the whole country? This becomes a major question mark. And most of these councils, like as you said, UGC, so most of these are doing three main functions. One is regulation, other is standard setting. Regulation, आप कहेंगे कि this university is a fake university not recognized by the university, UGC, or this institution not recognized by AICTE. So one is recognition, regulation, and other is academic standards. Are colleges, universities meeting these academic standards established by this council or the agency? And third function is finance, grants. So whether it is general grant or giving the positions or equipment or any or exchange programs. So these agencies existing agencies like AICTE, UGC, NCTE, Pharmacy Council of India, all these councils are performing all these functions. So it is realized that every council performing all these three functions, now there comes a contradiction. And most of the time it is now, for example, UGC grants, but for many years, people now not receiving research grants. So lack of funds or somehow proper, because you are doing these all functions, रेगुलेशन भी करना है आपको, स्टैंडर्ड भी मेंटेन करना है, पैसा भी देना है, उसका भी हिसाब किताब रखना है. So system becomes too heavy, it becomes too difficult to manage all these functions. Therefore, now in all prudence, NEP body defined or suggested, let these three functions be separated. That the function of regulation, function of setting standards, and then grants of finance. Then there is fourth. Fourth is assessment and accreditation. So again, there is a duplication. There is a National Assessment and Accreditation Council, no, which is assessing the quality of mainly higher education. But it is also entering to all the fields, education, medical, even engineering, assessment. And there is a lot of controversy. There are a number of problems in the assessment system. So similarly, even AICTE, they have a National Board of Accreditation. NCTE also assesses. So again, with the procedure, the system, focus, perspective, no, these all things are different in these different institutions. So in all prudence, it is realized that why not to have only one agency, National Assessment Authority or National Assessment Council, only one, so that all institutions do not have a different type of assessment mechanism. So now, how these four functions are to be coordinated? For that purpose, now NEP suggests that there will be one Higher Education Commission of India, HECI, Higher Education Commission of India. And this commission will work with under the advisory committee. It was suggested earlier. Now it is being changed, that it will be headed by the Prime Minister. So then later, now it is suggested that let us not make it again a political dominated body. So Higher Education Commission will be autonomous body with these four verticals. ये जो फोर वर्टिकल्स हैं, इनके अलग अलग रेगुलेशन होंगे, इनके अलग अलग फंक्शन होंगे. So I think if you have some question, otherwise we can have a 10 minutes break. So that next we will move ahead with this. Yes.
सर जो ये 4 वर्टिकल्स हैं, इनकी फुल फॉर्म्स क्या हैं एक्चुअली समझ नहीं आ रहा सर.
मैं आपको आफ्टर टी
ओके सर, ओके.
we will discuss in detail.
यस सर.
क्योंकि अभी देखिए, अब आप ये पूछेंगे कि एनईपी क्यों नहीं इम्प्लीमेंट हो रही है. वैसे तो सब जगह हम कह रहे हैं कि इम्प्लीमेंट हो रही है, लेकिन हमें मालूम है कि जो इम्प्लीमेंट हो रही है वो एक फ्रैक्शन है. जब तक मेन स्ट्रक्चर नहीं बनता है, डिफाइंड फंक्शंस नहीं होते हैं, तो मुश्किल होगा. ओके
सर ऑन पेपर्स तो वास्तव में इम्प्लीमेंट हो रही है, लेकिन ग्राउंड लेवल पर अगर देखें, रूट लेवल पर तो नहीं हो पा रही है. ऑन पेपर तो सब चल रहा है सर.
यही हमारी दुविधा रही है हमारे देश की. अदरवाइज मैं आपको आई टेक यू बैक टू 80s. आई मेट वन senior manager from Japan, and he was sharing that he came to India to take some technology, तो जब वो बोर्ड ऑफ मैनेजमेंट में वहाँ बात कर रहा था, उनसे सुन रहा था, तो ही वॉज हाईली इम्प्रेस्ड कि अरे मैं हम क्या एक्सचेंज इनको, इंडिया को क्या दे सकते हैं, ये तो ऑलरेडी एडवांस है हमारे से, क्योंकि बातों में, कागजों में, पॉलिसी में, मच अहेड। उसके बाद उसने कहा कि ओके, आई वुड लाइक टू सी द प्लांट। तो जब उन्होंने प्लांट देखा, तो वहाँ जो टेक्नोलॉजी थी वो 1947 की यूज हो रही थी। उसने कहा आपने तो ये सारा कुछ मुझे बताया, ऐसा है? कहते जी ये करना है हमने। तो हमने भी अब करना है। बाकी चलिए, आफ्टर कैन बी मीट एट 4:35 मैडम?
हाँ, यस सर, यस सर। ओके।
एंड आई होप विल हैव मोर डिस्कशन। अभी तो बातचीत ज़्यादा नहीं हुई है, तो अगले सेशन में हम बातचीत ज़्यादा करेंगे। ओके, थैंक यू। ओके,
यस, यस,
थैंक
यस
यू।
सर, थैंक यू। हाँ।
काय झाले गाडी कुठलं थोडं झोपले अरे बाबा माझा चीन कसा अस्थिर असा लोडिंग होते ते लोड
टेस्ट आवडली हा कोण नाही ते म्यूट केलंय
Yes, are you back? Hello.
Yes, sir. We are back, sir.
Okay. So, coming to the governance, now most of the problems which are in your mind, and few we were just talking, the root is governance, and that governance, that means the structure, the system, the rules, the norms need to be revisited if we have to implement. Like, when you talk about choice based credit system, you talk about ABC, you talk about multidisciplinarity, you talk about skill based education, self reliant education, entrepreneurship, ethical education. So, naturally, a robust governance system is required. And that is why it is suggested that there will be one higher education commission, and these four verticals which are attending four main functions. Like when we talk about national uh, higher education regulatory system, what it will be doing, what will be done by higher education grants council, like that. Similarly, national assessment council. So now just look at this implications of higher education commission. When it will be implemented, number one, this is a system which we have followed from UK and Australia. So there it has worked. So we think it will also be working in our conditions. Then other thing is that enhanced autonomy. So this system will give more autonomy. Although it seems, क्योंकि अभी रिसेंटली जुलाई 2025 में अब ए बिल हैज बीन इंट्रोड्यूस्ड, तो अभी एक्ट कब बनेगा, कब इम्प्लीमेंट होगा, तो इसलिए सारी प्रॉब्लम जो अभी एनईपी की है। और सबसे बड़ा जो ड्रॉबैक रहा है दैट द पीपल इन दिस सिस्टम, दे आर नॉट सेंसिटाइज्ड और दे आर नॉट ट्रेन्ड। तो वो एक बहुत बड़ी समस्या आ रही है, और इसी कारण यूजीसी डिसाइडेड टू हैव सेंसिटाइजेशन प्रोग्राम, जो अभी बहुत से प्रोग्राम हो रहे हैं इंडिया में। तो इससे ऑटोनॉमी जो है वो बढ़ेगी, ऐसा। नाउ लेट अस सी, ऑटोनॉमी बढ़ेगी या सेंट्रलाइजेशन होगी, दैट्स अनदर मेजर point to be seen. Next is improved efficiency. That you need not to go to one institution, need not to go to number of institutions for getting recognition. तो आप सीधे ही एक ही एजेंसी के पास जाएंगे इफ यू वांट टू गेट रजिस्टर्ड और गेट मॉनिटरिंग. Similarly, you will go to only one grants agency. You need not to go to different agencies giving grants. So it will improve efficiency as is expected. Quality will also improve because there will be unified system of assessment, accreditation. Then global competitiveness. So at the global level also, we will be able to compete because there will be uniformity of standards. So it is not that the A University of India, you are saying it is a highly ranked university and other is not, like that. But there will be some standardization. So at the international level, our position will also be there. But there are certain challenges. पॉजिटिव चीजों की हमने बात करी. Now there are certain challenges also, like centralization. क्योंकि ऐसा लग रहा है, सारे सिस्टम से ऐसा लग रहा है कि चारों वर्टिकल कहीं एक जगह कंट्रोल होंगे और उसके ऊपर कंट्रोल जो है गवर्नमेंट का होगा। तो एजुकेशन वैसे भी हाईली पोलिटिसाइज्ड है हमारे कंट्री के अंदर। एजुकेशन एंड पर्टिकुलरली द एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन ऑफ एजुकेशन इज हाईली पोलिटिसाइज्ड, और दैट इज ऑल्सो द रीजन ऑफ आवर क्वालिटी क्वेश्चंस एट इंटरनेशनल लेवल। देयरफॉर टेंडेंसी है, हम ये तो कह रहे हैं कि लाइट एंड टाइट होगा, कि हम ऑटोनॉमी ज़्यादा मिलेगी इंस्टीट्यूशंस को, लेकिन वो उसके बारे में बहुत से लोगों का डिफरेंट व्यूज है। दे थिंक दैट इट इज़ नॉट लाइक दैट। डेफिनेटली देर विल बी मोर सेंट्रलाइजेशन। एंड देन सबसे बड़ा चैलेंज इज कैपेसिटी बिल्डिंग, लीडरशिप। नाउ फ्रॉम वेयर यू विल ब्रिंग पीपल इफ यू डोंट ट्रेन देम, इफ यू डोंट, अदरवाइज अभी क्या होता है, एनी पर्सन without his competence or because I have been vice chancellor or pro vice chancellor and many administrative positions I held. Mostly, appointments are not based on managerial skills, but more based on your academic credentials. And many times it is political considerations. So people with those credentials, they may not be able to manage big enterprises लाइक यूनिवर्सिटी जिसमें 20,000 स्टूडेंट होंगे और रेजिडेंशियल होंगे। सो नाउ यू कैन इमेजिन व्हाट टाइप ऑफ लीडर यू रिक्वायर। सो कैपेसिटी बिल्डिंग, preparing people for that system is a challenge. It is not that we don't have people like that. कॉर्पोरेट वर्ल्ड में इतनी बड़ी बड़ी इंस्टीट्यूशंस हैं, इतने बड़े कंपनीज हैं, एंड दे आर डूइंग वेरी गुड. So in long run, of course, we are sure that we will have a competent people to govern. So these are certain challenges which we can see. Now these four verticals, as Dr. Nomendra, he was asking, ultimately these four institutions, what they are doing. So as I told you that National Higher Education Regulatory Council, सिंगल रेगुलेटरी सिस्टम होगा, एजेंसी होगी। लेकिन इस सारी एजुकेशन पॉलिसी के अंदर मेडिकल और लॉ को इंक्लूड नहीं किया गया है। बाकी सभी स्ट्रीम्स की एजुकेशन इज इंक्लूडेड। सो एक ही एजेंसी होगी। दैट मीन्स इफ समवन वांट्स टू बी रजिस्टर्ड एज यूनिवर्सिटी, you will apply to Higher Education Regulatory Council. So there will be certain guidelines, there will be certain instructions, there will be certain framework within which you can apply. And then mostly जो पहली वाली institutions थी वो inspection oriented थी, inspection oriented. Now policy says now it will not be inspection oriented, it will be regulation based. And that regulation will be mostly online, so more objective as compared to earlier system. And time to time, whatever regulations under which your organization is governed, that will be done mostly with the use of technology. अभी ये होना है, अभी तो यूं कह सकते हैं कि सब गर्भ में है. People have different ideas in the government as well as in the academics, in the bureaucrats too. National Assessment Council एक मेटा accreditation एजेंसी सजेस्ट की गई है. That now the name of NAC, it's not the name, but whole structure will change. अभी वो भी एक चल रहा है कि क्या NAC को ही NAC बनाया जाए या एक और एजेंसी क्रिएट की जाए. एक और एजेंसी, एक वो अथॉरिटी होगी, and NAC may be one of the agencies. It is also recommended that there will not be only one agency. There can be more than वन एजेंसीज, और वो एजेंसीज ऐसी होंगी, दे विल ऑल्सो बी क्रेडिटेड, जैसे नो इन डिफरेंट कंट्रीज, इन जर्मनी और ऑस्ट्रेलिया और अदर कंट्रीज, द असेसमेंट agencies, they also compete. No, you are accredited by which agency? That's important. Are you accredited by A grade agency or B grade agency? So that way it is suggested that even agencies, they will also compete. So not one, even some universities or some colleges can be approved as accreditation agency. So I think idea is very noble, very ideal, but how it takes shape, that is to be seen. अभी तक तो नैक ही बहुत कंट्रोवर्सी में है, हर साल कोई ना कोई चेंज हो जाता है, रूल चेंज हो जाते हैं, और अभी पीछे तो देयर वाज अ लॉट ऑफ controversy, some corruption cases were also there. So no, NAC is also changing now the assessment standards, और बाइनरी सिस्टम को अडॉप्ट कर रहे हैं. सो आई थिंक ओवरऑल पर्सपेक्टिव इज गुड, that you have one agency for all types of education institutions. Then third strand is Higher Education Grants Council. So here, how to finance, what will be the norms, different models for financing fellowships, scholarships. So that will be done by Higher Education Grants Council. Sorry, it is Grants Council, और मोस्टली मे बी यूजीसी को ये काम दिया जाए. जो एग्जिस्टिंग एजेंसीज हैं, डिफरेंट जो काउंसिल्स हैं, उनको भी स्ट्रक्चर किया जाएगा. So maybe they are given some other role. It depends. So अभी कुछ कह नहीं सकते, अलग अलग इस पे व्यूज हैं, कुछ कंट्राडिक्टरी हैं, कुछ पॉजिटिव हैं, कुछ नेगेटिव हैं. Let's hope. Now bill has been introduced, so let us see what will happen. लेकिन आइडिया अच्छा है कि एक ही जैसे नॉर्म्स हों, एक जैसे रूल्स हों सभी तरह की इंस्टीट्यूशंस के लिए, so that now for example जनरल एजुकेशन में ग्रांट्स कम मिलती हैं, टेक्निकल में ज़्यादा है, तो AICTE इज मोर रिचर देन यूजीसी. तो अगर एक एजेंसी होगी तो सभी इंस्टीट्यूशंस को वो एक स्टैंडर्ड से ही मेजर किया जाएगा, असेस किया जाएगा. देन कम्स जनरल एजुकेशन काउंसिल. जनरल एजुकेशन काउंसिल का मेन फंक्शन होगा स्टैंडर्ड सेटिंग. सो इसको स्टैंडर्ड सेटिंग बॉडीज भी कह रहे हैं. डिफरेंट काउंसिल, फॉर एग्जांपल फार्मेसी काउंसिल ऑफ इंडिया है, या NCTE है, या वोकेशनल काउंसिल ऑफ इंडिया है. तो डिफरेंट जो ये सब काउंसिल्स हैं, उनका काम अब ग्रांट्स देना या स्टैंडर्ड सेटिंग या रेगुलेशन नहीं होगा. अब केवल एक ही फंक्शन होगा, एंड दैट विल बी स्टैंडर्ड सेटिंग. सो एकेडमिक स्टैंडर्ड्स इन डिफरेंट fields, for example engineering, management, pharmacy, etc., उनका अपना अपना, जैसे AICTE इंजीनियरिंग, मैनेजमेंट, फार्मेसी काउंसिल और फार्मेसी के सब्जेक्ट्स को करेगी. सो व्हाट आई मीन टू से दैट डिफरेंट काउंसिल्स which are existing, they will be part of General Education Council. So they will be basically standard setting bodies. Their purpose will be time to time revise and make a national framework, qualification framework, and that way एक national standard जो है वो maintain हो पाएगा as it is expected. So now you have 4 these verticals. So still, as I told you, अभी कुछ सामने है नहीं, only कुछ पॉजिटिव, कुछ नेगेटिव, कुछ एप्रीहेंशन, कुछ रियलिटी. सो हाउ इट कम्स अप, and then again the challenge will be that these verticals must be led by qualified people, the people who have excelled in academic, in research, or in administration. Yes, anything about these 4 verticals? कुछ आप बताना चाहें या कुछ कंट्रीब्यूट करना चाहें या कुछ बोलना चाहें? क्वेश्चन?
सर, क्या ये जो हायर एजुकेशन कमीशन बन रहा है, क्या ये यूजीसी को रिप्लेस करेगा?
किसको?
यूजीसी, यूनिवर्सिटी ग्रांट कमीशन.
UGC Grant Commission may become, no, it will not be now Grants Commission.
यस सर, यस यस.
क्योंकि अभी तो वो तो डिसमेंटल हो जाएगा. उसकी जगह मे बी जनरल एजुकेशन काउंसिल बने, यानी एकेडमिक स्टैंडर्ड्स के लिए उसको काम दिया जाए. राइट. सो बॉडी डिफरेंट होगी, हो सकता है कि यूजीसी की बिल्डिंग को यूज किया जाए वो अलग बात है. बट दिस विल बी टोटल कंपोजिशन विल बी डिफरेंट. हायर एजुकेशन कमीशन ऑफ इंडिया. सो हाँ जी, तो यूजीसी का स्ट्रक्चर भी अलग हो जाएगा, एआईसीटी का भी. सभी जितनी काउंसिल्स हैं जो कि एक्ट के अंदर बनी है, पार्लियामेंट के एक्ट के अंदर, नाउ दैट वो उनका भी स्ट्रक्चर चेंज होगा.
सर, जैसे यूजीसी है, अभी यूजीसी तो ग्रांट कमीशन था, तो ग्रांट्स तो अभी वो प्रोवाइड करना बंद कर दिया उसने काफी दिनों से.
अब वो तो है ही नहीं, पैसे नहीं है.
ऐसे नहीं है उसके पास. तो
जैसे मैं
अभी क्या?
आपको बता रहा हूँ ना कि अभी अभी जैसे एआईसीटी के पास पैसा है, तो बहुत से जो एआईसीटी से लेते हैं, यानी जो सब्जेक्ट्स कवर्ड हैं, दे आर गेटिंग ग्रांट्स. लेकिन यूजीसी फॉर नंबर ऑफ इयर्स not able to give, even though sometimes it becomes difficult to give the fellowships also. So अभी वही बात है, लेकिन अभी ग्रांट्स वाला काम उनका खत्म हो जाएगा. वो एकेडमिक, जैसे जनरल एजुकेशन का काम वो यूजीसी के पास जाएगा. एआईसीटी ही अगेन ग्रांट्स नहीं देगी, रेगुलेशन भी नहीं करेगी, असेसमेंट भी नहीं करेंगी जैसे एनबीए उन्होंने बनाया है. वो भी एनबीए में कंटिन्यू, इट विल बी द पार्ट ऑफ एनएसी, नेशनल असेसमेंट काउंसिल. और जो एनबीए है वो जरूरी नहीं है वो इंजीनियरिंग का ही हो, वो जनरल एजुकेशन की भी क्रेडिशन हो सकता है. तो देर आर मैनी थिंग्स टू बी डन. आई डोंट नो, क्योंकि वही बात है कि वो पर्दे के पीछे क्या हो रहा है, दैट वी डोंट नो. लेकिन अभी until the administrative system, the governance system is properly framed and implemented, तो मुझे लगता है कि जो एग्जिस्टिंग सिस्टम है ऐसे चलता रहेगा. Yes, anything?
Sir, I just wanted to know whether I understood this correctly or not. You said that these councils, certain councils like NAC and those are chaired by the persons, those have academic excellence, but they lack some managerial skill or say government skill or administrative skill. Was that you were saying, sir?
So, no, yes. Actually, now in the education policy itself, it has been mentioned that a mechanism will be worked out where, like outstanding academicians, yes, so they will be, of course, trained not only at the fag end, but from the very beginning. Like you see, even in MMTTC, now it is MMTTC. Earlier it was Academic Staff College in our times, then it became HRDC. So even the general orientation program, there was one unit that was management and personality development. That you see, even if, and I will discuss in the next 5 minutes, that leadership is not developed over time. It is developed. It is not developed suddenly. Sorry, it is developed over a period of time, and you get different situations, you get different conditions, you get different opportunities where you develop leadership. So for that matter, now NEP suggests that for the governance, we have to develop academic leadership from at different levels.
Okay, yes, thank you.
Okay. Like now I come to academic leadership. Now, what academic leadership refers to? So it is the ability to inspire, influence, and guide faculty, students, administrative teams within higher education institutions to achieve academic excellence, innovation, and institutional goals. So now, I think one thing is clear, that it is not your only academic excellence. You have to have academic excellence plus. Now, what is that plus? That is leadership. That is that one should have the capability or the skill to inspire, to influence, and guide all components, that is the faculty, students, administrative teams. And the purpose is to achieve excellence, innovation, and institutional goals. So now, when we start with this definition, in NEP, para 5.19 says, vertical mobility. Now, very clear, vertical mobility of teachers based on merit will also be paramount. So it will be very important that promotion is based on merit. Outstanding teachers with demonstrated leadership and management skills would be trained over time to take on academic leadership positions. So that means a teacher with outstanding performance and who have demonstrated their skills in leadership and management. So where a teacher demonstrates management skills or leadership skill, what do you think?
In the classroom itself, he get chance to, and in such a courses also, like refresher courses, one of the participant is given the opportunity to showcase his ability to lead and to collaborate, to mediate the between resource person and the participant. So I guess there itself person get that quality. And in administrative cases also, like IQC coordinator, such positions also where the teachers itself are appointed from the same institute, and they get chance to showcase their abilities, plus abilities.
Like here you see this diagram, that I'm talking about a teacher, a assistant professor or lecturer. Now, how the leadership quality is demonstrated, or how the leadership quality in what area can be developed? Like you rightly said, that first is the classroom. So in the classroom, how you look at the students, how you manage the diversity in the class, how you can take students with you, how you inspire them, how to motivate them, how do you change their behavior. So you see, in other words, many times, and it is truly said, that the teacher is the true leader. तो आप उस सेंस में कह सकते हैं कि any teacher is a good leader. So you can appoint any person as a chairman of UGC or vice chancellor of any university because he is a teacher. Teacher is a leader in his own sense. There are two things. One is academic excellence, other is administrative. So academic excellence, fine. But then in the structure, when you are managing, when you talk about classroom. So in classroom, of course, it is your knowledge, but also the skill, how you deal with the students, your perception, your attitude, that makes a difference. Sometimes average teacher may prove to be very good administrative leader, a very good academic leader. He is able to inspire. Sometimes excellent teacher with gold medal and high academic credentials. Like, I share with you one. I have many such experiences over 10, 20 years when I was in academic staff college. I called one professor, creative writer. Can you imagine on his work, even some PhDs have been produced. Such a brilliant person. So I called him and on creative thinking, creative writing, I requested him to interact with the participants. After about half an hour, he came out, and he was very angry. Said, Dr. Verma, where you have sent me? These people, they are not interested. They have not come for studies. They have not come for, वो तो शिमला घूमना है. And in anger, I told him, please sit down, have a cup of tea. And he said, no, I'm not interested. I'm really disenchanted with these lecturers. I don't want to. And he went. Then I went to the lecture hall, and all of them, a lot of discussion was going on. You can imagine जो aftermath क्या होता है उसके बाद क्या हुआ होगा.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
तो आपस में बात कर रहे थे तो मैं भी गया, मैं भी हंसने लग गया थोड़ी देर. We had a relaxed feeling. Then I asked them seriously that you could have not misbehaved. You just imagine if you were in his position, तो आपको कैसे लगता. So then they started sharing their agony. वो कहते सर वो अच्छा प्रोफेसर हैं, अच्छे क्रिएटिव राइटर हैं, जो भी हैं. तो उन्होंने हमारे साथ बातचीत करना शुरू किया और सबसे पहले उन्होंने कहा कि तुम लोगों ने तुम यहाँ किस पर्पज से आए हो. पर्पज सर वी हैव कम फॉर आवर अपग्रेडेशन. अच्छा ठीक है, तो तुमने ये किताब पढ़ी है? He referred to some book. One or two said, yes, sir, we have read it. And most of them said, no, sir, we have not read. Then he referred to another book. तो जो किसी ने नहीं पढ़ी. If you have not read this book, you have wasted your life. तो आपने कुछ भी नहीं किया लाइफ में. तो he started bombarding them. आपने ये भी नहीं पढ़ा, आपको ये भी नहीं आता है. Then he put some questions. ये भी नहीं आता, तुम you are useless people. तो जब ऐसी बात हो जाए तो नेचुरली रिएक्शन तो आना ही था. पार्टिसिपेंट्स ऑल्सो स्टार्टेड आस्किंग सम क्वेश्चन कि सर ऐसा है वैसा है वैसा है. तो अल्टीमेटली वो डाइवोर्स हो गया. तो प्रोफेसर साहब केम आउट. व्हाट आई मीन टू से हियर इन द क्लासरूम, नो टिपिकल मास्टर क्लास में तो चल जाता है क्योंकि वो स्टूडेंट्स को तो सहन करना है, उसको तो डिग्री लेनी है, लेकिन वो पार्टिसिपेंट्स तो नहीं करेंगे. सो हाउ डू यू मैनेज पीपल? योर इंटरपर्सनल स्किल्स कैसी हैं, आपका कम्युनिकेशन कैसा है, आपका विजन कैसा है, व्हाट यू वांट देम टू बी. ए गुड लीडर इज वन हु कैन मेक something out of nothing. So his vision, his imagination, his involvement, now those things, all these things we learn and we can develop in the classroom. So classroom is a very fertile line. Like, you come out with some very good idea that, okay, I organize a discussion, I organize this activity. So अगर हम अपनी टीचिंग मेथोडोलॉजी पेडागोजी के साथ दीज ऑल थिंग्स, जैसे हम कहते हैं कि आपका टेम्परामेंट, टीचर का टेम्परामेंट कैसा होना चाहिए, interpersonal skills, attitude, positive mind. So those all things are the component of a becoming a good leader. Then another thing is corridor. Why I have included corridor? It is not that it goes with the four C's, but what I mean to say, when you walk, you talk, you interact with your colleagues, that also makes a difference, isn't it? टीचर तो दूर से पहचाना जाता है, तो आपकी जो एक वाइब्रेशन है, आपकी जो ऑरा है, that is reflected and that affects. So how we conduct ourselves around our classroom, in our chamber, I think that's the learning place where that is the area for our leadership which we can exhibit. आपने देखा होगा ना, एंड वी लर्न इट, और आप में से भी बहुत से टीचर्स हैं जो उनका जो स्टाइल है बातचीत करने का, इंटरेक्ट करने का, स्टूडेंट्स को इंस्पायर करने का, दैट मैटर्स. इसी तरह से वी कैन ऑल्सो शो आवर लीडरशिप इन द कैंपस. सो कैंपस की इन्वॉल्वमेंट में हम कितना इन्वॉल्व रहते हैं. मैनी टीचर्स हु आर the conveners of some hobby groups or some committees, we learn it there. So that is another area of our leadership where if it is done consciously, mostly things are happening at the basic casual उससे हो रही है, not with a very systematic manner. But if in our orientation, in our training, if it is done consciously, then I think leadership will develop at this level also. Similarly, teacher in the community. We are part of society. So how we are taken? Many teachers I have seen, going after politicians, going after people, and forgetting that their identity, their status is much higher than anyone. Now, it is the teacher who makes everyone. So here, confidence building as well as the perspective that how much or what you can do in the society, that becomes important. So this is the area for a teacher to contribute or to learn leadership. Any academic leader, now I'm taking up some key dimensions of academic leadership. The academic leader must have a vision and mission. You see, no institution can run without a vision. I have seen many low-grade institutions, but being headed by good leader, very soon they turn out to be quality institutions. I think आपने भी देखा होगा, प्रिंसिपल चेंज हुआ, हेड ऑफ डिपार्टमेंट चेंज हुआ, वाइस चांसलर चेंज हुआ, इंस्टीट्यूशन की क्वालिटी और उसका कल्चर डिफरेंट हो गया. सो इट डिपेंड्स what is the vision and the mission of the leader. So it must be guided by certain subtle vision of the leader. Then strategic planning and policy development. So, after all, it is not a, even, you run a dhaba, you are looking for the skilled person. Hmm. But if you are running an education institution where, you see, everything is human being. Input is human being, machine is human being. If you say teacher is a machine, output is also affecting the human being. So very sensitive human organization, education institution is. Therefore, must be having a perspective, a planning, and must get a training in that. Faculty and staff empowerment. So if we really are interested to develop academic leadership, then all should be given opportunity in the empowerment or development. As I told you that faculty and faculty development, management or personality development is one very important component. And perhaps here also, when we are talking about this subject with the learning outcome or learning aspect, it becomes relevant. Then student-centered focus. So any good leader, for him, normally what blunder we commit, मैं आपको एक बात शेयर करना चाहूंगा कि टीचर, एज ए टीचर, we commit many blunders. And one blunder is we are teaching subject, we are not teaching students. जबकि होना क्या चाहिए? I have to teach students. उनकी लर्निंग के को बढ़ाना है. तो इम्पोर्टेंट ये नहीं है कि कितना पढ़ाया, इम्पोर्टेंट ये है कि स्टूडेंट ने कितना ग्रास्प किया and what change has occurred in him. That is the purpose. Therefore, the focus of any academic leader should also be student centric. Institution is for him, for his development, for his learning. Research and innovation leadership. So that's again a very important dimension, that a good leader in education institution should have focus on research and innovation, change and crisis management. He should be dynamic personality, not rigid. That with the situation, with the change, with the technology, with the type of students you have, must be able to change. And we should be able to overcome the crisis. So, number of crises which we observe in the education institution, he is able to face and able to overcome. Global and industry collaboration. So these days it is also becoming very important that education institution must have a collaboration. अब तो जबरदस्ती कहा जाता है कि you should have some collaboration, memorandum of understanding. So that shows that you are networking with other institutions for the development of your own institution is important. Then quality assurance and equity, inclusion, and diversity. That leaders should be open-minded. The caste, creed, region, religion, these things should not affect him. And he's the person who is able to provide equal opportunity to people of different segments. Able to deal diversity in effective manner. Then quality assurance and accreditation. So, well, that is again very important dimension of academic leader, that you should manage quality, and definitely quality is very much related with the next point, that is ethical governance and accountability. You see, academic leader is a role model. Even if it is a head of department. मेरे एक कुलीग थे, तो एक दिन वो कहने लगे मेरा मन पढ़ाने को नहीं लगता, मैंने कहा क्यों, पहले तो अच्छा पढ़ाते थे। कहते बिकॉज नाउ देयर इज अ चेंज इन द हेडशिप, आई डोंट लाइक दिस हेड। तो उसको देखते ही मेरा मन उचाट हो जाता है, मुझे पढ़ाने का मजा नहीं आता। सो इट मीन्स द लीडर must be ethical, must be person with values, and must own the accountability. Good leaders always own responsibility. Uh, so academic leaders, all leadership positions, high academic qualifications, administrative and quality leadership capabilities. सो दिस इज वट एनईपी में ये भी लिखा गया है कि ऑल लीडरशिप पोजीशंस किसको जानी चाहिए, हाई एकेडमिक क्वालिफिकेशंस एंड एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव एंड लीडरशिप कैपेबिलिटीज, and the person who is able to change the complex situations, demonstrate strong alignment to constitutional values and overall vision of the institution. So इसी को आगे हम ले रहे हैं क्वालिटीज, कि एक जो अच्छा लीडर है उसमें क्या क्वालिटीज होनी चाहिए। जैसे विजनरी थिंकिंग होनी चाहिए, वी शुड बी एबल टू विजुअलाइज वेयर ही इज गोइंग टू टेक द इंस्टीट्यूशन, और उसके लिए
दाढी जर हातभर लांबायला लागली तरी काय बघायचं नाही. चला काय नको जास्त स्टेज मस्त व्हायची.
ओके। देन इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस, एक बात जो बड़ी इंपॉर्टेंट है, आई थिंक वो सबके लिए अप्लाई करती है, क्योंकि एवरी टीचर इज ए लीडर ऑल्सो। ऑन द डिफरेंस इज दैट you have to have administrative training that will make you better a leader, managerial leader. So emotional intelligence, that one person, effective leader is one who emotionally stable. He should be, एक I went to one office, तो जो ऑफिस मैनेजर थे उनके टेबल पे एक कोटेशन रखी हुई थी, तो उसमें लिखा था डोंट रिएक्ट बट प्रोएक्ट। तो मैंने उनको पूछा व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय दिस, देन यू सी he said that the management rule number one is that don't react, that when people say, normally we start giving a suggestion or we react, so that you are not able to properly manage. Like how? Then he says, because when you react, then actually you forget your लॉजिक रीजन। आप रिएक्ट कर रहे हैं, यू आर गवर्न्ड बाय हिम, नॉट बाय योर ओन थॉट। सो यू शुड हैव ए पेशेंस, यू शुड हैव ए टॉलरेंस, यू लिसन, एंड देन देयर आफ्टर you act. So proact, which suits to his problem, you are able to solve that problem. और उन्होंने एक बड़ा सुंदर एग्जांपल दिया, he said, see, look, a leader should not be like a hot plate. तवा होता है ना, तवे पे थोड़ा गर्म तवा होगा, थोड़ा पानी फेंको तो ची ची करता है और वो पानी सूख जाता है। तो ऐसा तवा नहीं होना चाहिए, क्योंकि जो आइडियाज किसी के आते हैं उसको आप लेते नहीं, सुखा दिया उनको। बट यू शुड बी लाइक ए ब्लॉटिंग पेपर, इंक पेपर, ब्लॉटिंग पेपर होता है ना, इंक पड़ी है तो उसको वो सोख लेता है। सो यू शुड बी लाइक दैट, absorb that. So then I told, if water is more, then तब तो जो गर्म तवा है वो तो एकदम ठंडा हो जाएगा, उसके ऊपर एक घड़ा पानी का फेंक दो, थोड़ी सी ची होगी और बंद हो जाएगा, खत्म हो जाएगा, वो ठंडा हो जाएगा। देन ही सेड, हाँ ये तो बात मैं कहना चाह रहा था, कि अगर दूसरे का रिएक्शन बहुत तीखा होगा तो क्या होगा, तो आप ठंडा हो जाएंगे। अगेन यू आर नॉट एबल टू सॉल्व द प्रॉब्लम। बट इन केस ऑफ ए ब्लॉटिंग पेपर, आपने इंक थोड़ा है उसको ऑब्जर्व कर लिया, लेकिन बहुत ज्यादा होगा तो क्या करोगे आप? जितना ऑब्जर्व कर सकते हो उतना ऑब्जर्व करोगे, बाकी छोड़ देंगे, बाकी निकल जाएगा पानी। सो वेरी वर्ड्स ऑफ विजडम, बहुत ही सुंदर बात मुझे लगी, दैट एनी लीडर शुड बी इमोशनली वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. एंड व्हाट वी सी, many people with genius, they have failed, but many people with emotional management, managing their emotions, they have been successful. Like Mahatma Gandhi. About Mahatma Gandhi, it is said, whenever there used to be meetings, and in meetings बहुत कहा सुनी होती थी, लड़ाई झगड़ा भी होता था, तो महात्मा गांधी used to come out of the meeting. He will not react, he will come out, and he will come out and go out. बहाना लगा के चले जाएंगे, थोड़ी देर बैठेंगे, and then he will come back. So now we should learn how we manage our emotions, and now it is proved by research that the success lies with the emotional management more than the IQ. It is EQ which grants you success. Similarly, strategic mindset, that our mindset should be problem solving, that we are to solve the problem. We are not here to create a problem. We are not stand like a wall. ये नहीं हो सकता, होगा ही नहीं. No, you should have a strategy how you deal with it. I don't know what Trump has in his mind. But definitely must be having some strategy. So strategic mind, then integrity and humility. The leader must be a person with the integrity, that all situation, all persons, objectivity in his behavior, and humility, must be humble. The symbol of a educated person is nobility. Vidya dadati vinayam. There is a true education which gives us nobility, which gives us humility. Then communication skills. Now throughout the world, it has been recognized that your scientific skills or technical skills produce very less result until you have life skills. So life skills teaching has become compulsory in almost all courses. That is how effectively you can communicate, how you can take your ideas to others. So any effective academic leader must be a good communicator. Then collaborative spirit. So it is not I, but the concept of we. So it is said that good leader is one who makes others feel that whatever is achieved by you as a leader is because of the contribution, their contribution. So they should see their goal is achieved. So you can imagine, हम क्या करते हैं, जो भी क्रेडिट है अपने को ले गए सारा, हाँ हाँ मैंने यहाँ से कहा था, मैंने सजेस्ट किया था, तभी हुआ है. No, a good leader will not do that. Because for a good leader, important is that the objective is achieved. Organization objective is achieved. And the people around you, they are developed. That is a good leader. Decisiveness with empathy. Now, many people I have seen, they don't take a decision. फाइल रखी है, वो उसका ढेर लगता जाता है. Not taking decisions. So taking decision is very important. Of course, मैंने अभी क्लासरूम के बारे में आपको बताया, वो पहले ही बता दिया था. Now, effective academic leadership, how and where it is reflected? It is reflected in teaching. In teaching, if you are a good leader, in addition to good teacher, then well, your teaching will be very effective. Because you always keep in mind what I'm speaking, what I'm delivering. It will go to the student and student will take it. और एक और टीचिंग की एक बहुत खूबसूरत बात क्या है, a good teacher and as a leader, he will visualize, what he wants his student to be, what he wants his colleague to be. एक अच्छा हेड ऑफ डिपार्टमेंट हमेशा अपने यंग टीचर में देखेगा that here is a person just one sorry, actually, there was an important call. So, well, we were talking that, in our teaching. So, if you visualize the student, his personality, and you visualize what you want to make him. जैसे normally we give the example of a gardener. तो गार्डनर एक प्लांट को जैसे उसको नर्चर करता है, always keeps in mind, what type of plant he wants to make in future. So that visualization is very important, and leadership is affected by or reflected in the teaching. Similarly, your leadership is also reflected in research. So now, what area of research you have taken? For example, some people take up area for the social welfare, social well-being, or research which is humanitarian. So your leadership is also reflected, and what initiatives you take. Many times, we in the colleges say that, well, we don't have opportunity, we don't have a literature, we don't have a research environment. But even then, there are some teachers who are doing there. So their leadership is reflected in that perspective. Then next is strategic vision and networking. So effective leader is a resourceful person. He develops interaction with people and they have networking. So, well, vision and networking. No, he wants institution to make it something like, even heads. Or for example, you are a convener of some club. It matters. I think all of you will agree. And particularly I see as a student, when I was playing a particular game, or who was the person who was heading, what was his behavior. So definitely area in which some teacher, that means the academic leader, was uh, encouraging, inspiring, influencing, touching your feelings, definitely you were more attracted. इवन सब्जेक्ट्स में भी, पढ़ाई में भी, आप वो सब्जेक्ट में इंटरेस्ट बाद में बनता है, पहले टीचर की पर्सनालिटी कैसी है, दैट मेक्स लॉट ऑफ डिफरेंस. And we learn, in life we learn from the teacher. So I think that the teacher is the basic unit for any academic leadership. I can share you with you one example, interesting example. We were studying in BCom second year, and one day, as usual, जैसे बच्चों का होता है, so students decided that tomorrow we will go and play cricket match. So without informing the teachers, because the whole class has gone, so this is a mass bunk. चले गए. Third day when we come back, तो जो हमारे हेड ऑफ डिपार्टमेंट थे, आते ही उन्होंने पहले तो हमारी अच्छी क्लास ली, खूब डांटा. दूसरी क्लास हुई, उसने भी डांटा. थर्ड क्लास जब हुई, तो वो जो टीचर आए, वेरी पीसफुल, very lovingly, he said, how was yesterday? Fine, nice, okay. Then he started that, well, we have already covered so and so chapter yesterday. Today we will be talking about a new chapter. Then we were surprised. Yesterday we were not there. To whom professor has taught? तो ऐसा लगा कि हो सकता है कोई हमारे में से एक दो लोग आगे हों. लेकिन जब मन में सोच रहा था, मैंने देखा नहीं, सभी तो थे, क्योंकि हमारे क्लास में टोटल 22 थे, तो हमारे पास तो अंपायर तो हमें बाहर से लेना पड़ा. सो वी वर देयर टुगेदर इन द ग्राउंड. तो प्रोफेसर साहब किसके बारे में बात कर रहे हैं? उन्होंने क्लास ली, अपनी ओवर हो गया. और जब हम बाहर आए, तो एक दूसरे से बात करने लगे कि किसको पढ़ाया होगा इन्होंने, कौन होगा. तो इतने में हमारे एक सीनियर वहां से गुजर रहे थे, तो उनको हमने पूछा कि यस्टरडे हु वाज देयर इन द क्लास, एंड ही टोल्ड नो, आप लोग तो सब भागे हुए थे, कोई भी नहीं था. तो प्रोफेसर साहब किसके बारे में बात कर रहे हैं? हाँ. तो दूसरा स्टूडेंट आया, उसने कहा कहा कि अच्छा अच्छा अच्छा, कहते 12 से 1 बजे की क्लास में प्रोफेसर वाज सिटिंग इनसाइड and he was reading some book. Now, this was a great lesson. What he has done, जो 1 घंटा हमारे लिए था. अब नॉर्मल ह्यूमन बीइंग, नॉर्मल टीचर क्या करता कि वहां से चला जाता. ठीक है, कल का लेक्चर भी तैयार नहीं करना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि आज का मिस हुआ है. चलो जाते हैं, अपने कुलीग के साथ चाय पीते हैं, गपशप मारते हैं. दिस इज नॉर्मल थिंग. बट ही डिडंट डू दैट. उन्होंने जो 1 घंटा हमारे लिए रखा था, वो क्लास में रहे, अपनी पढ़ाई करी, जो भी उन्होंने किया. और नेक्स्ट डे, नो, दिस वाज ए ग्रेट लेसन. एंड आई टेल यू, दिस स्मॉल, ऐसे स्मॉल एक्शन लगता है. कोई आदमी ये भी कह सकता है कि ये तो सनकीपन है, बट लेट मी टेल यू, इट वाज अ ग्रेट लेसन. एंड आई लर्नड दिस लेसन दैट वट एवर यू आर. उसके बाद आई केम वेरी क्लोज टू दैट प्रोफेसर, एंड वन डे आई टोल्ड, सर, आपका जो वो तरीका था, मुझे तो बहुत अच्छा लगा, और मैं ज़िंदगी में याद रखूंगा that whatever assignment, whatever task is given to you, you do it sincerely. दूसरा करता है, नहीं करता है, लेकिन जब आप करते हैं तो नेचुरली उसका इम्पैक्ट दूसरे को पड़ता है. इसलिए जो आपका विजन है, वो बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट है. सो फ्रेंड्स, लीडरशिप इज द प्रोसेस, प्रक्रिया भी है, लेकिन इट इज मच बेस्ड ऑन आवर पर्सनैलिटी. 3 वर्ड्स याद रखना: बी, डू एंड टेल. Leadership depends upon these 3 words. Telling is very easy, and most of the people continue to tell. जैसे इंडियंस की तो जनरल होता है ना, कोई प्रॉब्लम बता दीजिए, सिर में दर्द है, 100 सोल्यूशन मिल जाएंगे आपको. कोई कहेगा ये कर लो, कर लो, वो कर लो, वो कर लो. नहीं, ऑर्डर देने से काम नहीं होते. ऑर्डर देने से अंडर कंपल्शन ड्यूटी हो जाती है, बट जो मन से काम करता है कैसे संभव है. इसलिए फर्स्ट इंपॉर्टेंट इज बी. So what we want our students to be, what we want my colleagues to be, तो पहले मुझे अपने आप बनना है. तो जैसे उन्होंने प्रोफेसर साहब ने एक उदाहरण अपना रखा, that in a disciplined manner he remained in the class. B, so be more, do less, उससे थोड़ा कम, क्योंकि action also speaks louder than your words. It is said, that is true. So be, do. हम ये तो कहते हैं ऐसा कर लो, ऐसा कर लो, ऐसा कर लो, लेकिन अपने आप कैसा करते हैं. यू शुड बी वेरी हम्बल, यू शुड बी वेरी स्वीट, यू शुड नॉट हर्ट एनीवन. ये तो हमने कहा. अब एक और मैं इसका उदाहरण देता हूँ, अगेन फ्रॉम द लाइफ ऑफ ए टीचर. वी जस्ट ज्वाइंड टीचिंग and our colleague, she got engaged and she goes to the head of department with the sweets. And head of department was a very sweet tongued person. कहता अरे आ जाओ, कैसे हो, वेरी हैप्पी, यू आर डूइंग वेल, नाइस. ऊपर से वो कहती है कि सर मेरी एंगेजमेंट हो गई है, तो मीठा मुंह कर लीजिए. Oh, very happy. So you are getting married. Great, great, great. When you are getting married? Then she told that next month. Next month? How is it possible next month? She said, sir, because पंडित जी ने वो जो मुहूर्त निकाला है वैसे शादी होगी ना. He says, no, no, it's not possible. Because, I can't give you leave. Then next month is very important. तो सेमेस्टर का इतना प्राइम पीरियड में आप छुट्टी लेके जाएंगे, तो मैं तो 5 दिन भी छुट्टी नहीं दे सकता. कहते नहीं सर, मुझे तो पूरा 1 महीने की छुट्टी चाहिए. नो नो, इट इज नॉट पॉसिबल. सर, आई विल गिव यू सब्स्टिट्यूट. नो, आई डोंट वांट एनीवन. मैरिज पोस्टपोन कर दो. शी कम्स आउट, शी इज वीपिंग, एंड दिस मैन, नो, ही सेज पोस्टपोन कर दो. एंड जो हिंदुओं की मैरिज जो होती है, तो उसमें अगर वो मुहूर्त नहीं मिले 5 साल फिर तो शादी नहीं होगी. So what I mean to say, this man is saying something different by very sweet tongue. Seems to be very person concerned for you, but behavior is contrary to what he says. So remember that a good leader, and as I told you, the teacher who becomes head, who becomes dean, who becomes principal, who becomes vice chancellor, who becomes those in higher in the hierarchy, I think these are the fundamental things if one has, then he will prove to be a good academic leader. Because as I told you, in academic institutions, you manage what? You don't manage much of money or much of materials or machines, but more of individuals. So that is very sensitive material. Then collaborative and motivational competence. Collaborative, that we should be able to work in a team. एक बात आप, आई थिंक यू विल एग्री विद मी, जो हमारे प्रोफेसर्स में मैंने देखा है यूनिवर्सिटी के अंदर, 4 प्रोफेसर हैं, 6 ग्रुप्स बने हुए हैं। वी आर नॉट एबल टू वर्क टुगेदर। अब हमारे इंडियन स्कॉलर्स साइंटिस्ट जब बाहर जाते हैं, दे आर वेरी सक्सेसफुल। 2 रीजन, एक तो वहाँ डिसिप्लिन है, और दूसरा वहाँ टीम में काम होता है, पूरा टीम काम कर रही है। लेकिन हमें टीम में काम करने की आदत नहीं। सो गुड लीडर ऑलवेज हैज competent people around him, a good teamwork, and that is itself a competence. वो एक अच्छे, I've seen people with moderate intelligence, with moderate competence, but with a good team is able to achieve excellence. एक यहाँ पे मुझे उसकी स्टोरी याद आ रही, स्टोरी नहीं, दिस इज ट्रू। जब 80s में, आई थिंक इट वाज 1980 और 1979, जब पहला हमने लॉन्च किया था सैटेलाइट, तो प्रोफेसर धवन वाज द चेयरमैन ऑफ इसरो। एवरीवन वाज एक्साइटेड। लेकिन हुआ क्या कि लास्ट मोमेंट पे जब वो लॉन्च हुआ, इट वाज क्रैश, सक्सेसफुल नहीं हुआ। तो जितने जर्नलिस्ट थे, दे आस्क्ड प्रोफेसर धवन, नो हाउ इट हैज हैपेंड, एंड ही सेड ओके, इट वाज a technical problem, we couldn't visualize, so we have failed, and I'm sorry for that. I'm sorry to the nation, because this is not good. Then the other question was that who are the people in the team, who faulted? He said, no, no, it was all joint work. And I think it was my fault that I couldn't visualize this type of possibility which has happened. Anyhow, this happened. Next time, next year, again the same experiment, same situation, and this time it was successful, as we know. So again, journalists asked, Professor Dhawan, now what is your opinion? Then what was his answer? That's very important of a good leader. He said, gentlemen, actually, I don't know about this project much. There is a project director. And who was the project director? It was Abdul Kalam. So he was called, that you ask him, because he knows the nitty-gritty. And Professor Dhawan came out. Now, that is a good leader. When there is a failure, he took over the responsibility. When it was success, he gave the credit to the subordinate. Now, by telling you this story, whom I am appreciating? Definitely Professor
The
Dhawan.
leader.
Professor Dhawan.
Yes.
So, but this requires sensitivity. This requires your attitude that we are one team. The glory of leader will increase not by projecting himself. And in my life, I had very good administrative experiences working with a number of vice chancellors, heads, deans, directors. But I like those, who encouraged me, who mentored me. So similarly, my dear friends, as a teacher, these are structure, these all things will come forward and you will get opportunities. But for that, I'm to get prepared. Be first. So when I say something, I must be that. And then do. Things should come in action. शायद जो वर्ड्स हैं उनका मीनिंग इतना इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं रहता। महात्मा गांधी ने जब कहा कि ट्रूथ इज गॉड, तो क्या पहले नहीं कहा गया था? पहले भी लोग कहते थे ना, ऑलरेडी इट इज इन द स्क्रिप्चर्स, बट ही फॉलोड दैट. So you see the such leaders in our, around us, those who live what they say, they live those values. So fair and efficient management. So a academic leader can give a fair, judicious. For him, it is not psychophancy or it is not individual interest, but foremost interest for him is the institutional value, institutional perspective, or institutional goal. Then recognition of performance, that we must recognize. No, मैं कई बार देखता हूँ अपने आप को, फिर चूंटी भी मार लेता हूँ कि गलत सोच रहे हो. The person has performed maybe 80%, 20% he has not been able to do. How do I react? Instead of appreciating 80%, I will find out fault in 20%. ये नहीं हुआ इसमें, ये नहीं हुआ, ये नहीं हुआ. But once you tell him that, okay, well done, शाबाश, ये बहुत अच्छा हुआ है, बहुत अच्छा हुआ है, बहुत अच्छा. That's all. Rest with the time he will understand. कहाँ जो कमी रह गई है वो आप कर सकते हैं ना. So development and recognition of performance, and I find in the universities, in the institutions, these things are really lacking. So many times we don't find that the institution moving ahead with that vigor it should go. Interpersonal skills. We should be good in our human behavior, understanding others' difficulties, understanding others' views, incorporating their views, their interests. I think this matters more. Sometimes, we are very rude with our students or with our colleagues. I think that will not make a good leader. Then optimism. Everything is possible. So nothing is impossible. So with that optimism, because you see, why we say it is difficult? Because I think I am to do it. Then it is difficult. It is beyond my capability. It is beyond my ability. But when I look at my team, yes, it is possible. So my job becomes that my organs, it is just like this. The leader is like a head, is a brain. But other organs, if they are proper, then definitely brain can get the things done. So anyhow, these were a few things, both aspects. I've told you about the NEP, but NEP's success will depend upon the academic leaders. Governance, of course, in due course of time, you will have these new structures, new organizations. लेकिन क्या उससे आउटकम एक्सपेक्टेड जो है वो निकलेगी, वो तभी संभव है when you have a better, effective academic leadership at all the levels. Starting, I spend more time on lecturer, on the professor, on the head, and ultimately going to top. So I think I stop here, and we can spend few minutes in any question if you have any observation. Dr. Rumendra, I'm very happy you are very attentively, you are with me.
Actually, sir, it was very interesting session actually. मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा और ये बहुत इंसाइटफुल है कि हम लोग बहुत कुछ बेसिक चीजें सीखे हैं आपसे. बेटर रुक जाओ मुझे. तो सर थैंक यू वेरी मच. अच्छा लगा सर आपसे इंटरेक्ट करके. और बहुत कुछ चीजें सीखने को मिली हैं। बेसिकली जो आपने एकेडमिक लीडरशिप के बारे में चीजें बताई हैं वो हमें आगे भविष्य में, एक्चुअली हम तो अभी तो असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर के रूप में काम कर रहे हैं, लेकिन भविष्य में हमें भी रेस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज मिलेंगी और एज ए टीचर तो हम लीडरशिप कर ही सकते हैं। तो उसके लिए बहुत ही इंसाइटफुल चीजें हमें आज मिली हैं, तो थैंक यू वेरी मच।
थैंक यू। यस, आई सी मैडम. No, name are not coming, but only roll number is coming. 53, 43.
It
Yes.
is mandatory for us, sir, to put our roll number only.
Nice, nice. That's good.
Yes, sir. So we all put our roll numbers only, not our names.
Okay.
If anyone have any question, please ask, sir.
Sir, I have one thing to say.
Yes.
When you were explaining, sir, teaching intensive universities and research intensive, uh, that time you said that some of the institutes will get promoted to research in intensive institutes and some get demoted to. So teaching itself is very challenging job. It is not the demotion of the institute. Only I would say it is more than more important than research or teaching. So I find
Okay,
that
okay.
little.
It is, word, you can say demotion, promotion नहीं, upgrade आप कह सकते हैं. वो इसलिए रिसर्च इंटेंसिव यूनिवर्सिटी को इसलिए थोड़ा सा ऊपर रखा है. उसमें सिर्फ नेचर ऑफ जॉब जो थोड़ा सा डिफरेंस हो जाएगा. जो टीचिंग इंटेंसिव है उसके अंदर मोर एम्फेसिस विल बी ऑन टीचिंग. दैट मीन्स मोर आवर्स जो आपको वर्किंग आवर्स हैं टीचर के, वो मोर दे विल बी अलॉटेड मोर फॉर टीचिंग. इन केस ऑफ रिसर्च इंटेंसिव मोर आवर्स विल बी फॉर रिसर्च. तो दैट मीन्स द इनपुट, क्योंकि अभी क्या जो परसेप्शन है, मेरी भी परसेप्शन वही चली गई कि हम उस इंस्टीट्यूशन को ज्यादा रेट करते हैं जहां पे ज्यादा रिसर्च हो रही है ना.
Yes, sir.
है ना. तो कहेंगे जैसे अब नैक में, बिकॉज आई हैव बीन इन नैक फॉर नंबर ऑफ इयर्स एंड मोर देन 120 इंस्टीट्यूशंस आई हैव विजिटेड. तो ये होता था कॉलेज में भी जाएंगे, एफिलेटिंग कॉलेज है, अंडर ग्रेजुएट कॉलेज है, उससे पूछेंगे रिसर्च क्या है तो वो बेचारे टीचर क्या बोलेंगे. तो मुझे बड़ा इरिटेशन होती थी एंड आई यूज टू टेल माई कोलीग्स नैक के, प्लीज डोंट आस्क दिस क्वेश्चन फ्रॉम देम. क्योंकि वो जो दिन में 4 क्लास ले रहा है या 5 क्लास ले रहा है, 6 घंटे का वो काम कर रहा है, हाउ यू आर एक्सपेक्टिंग रिसर्च एंड हाउ वाई वाई यू आर आस्किंग दिस क्वेश्चन. जब लाइब्रेरी में वो बुक्स नहीं है, इतने स्टूडेंट्स हैं, एक क्लास के 400 स्टूडेंट बैठा हुआ है, तो वाई यू आर आस्किंग दिस क्वेश्चन. लेकिन वो कहते नहीं, ये तो पूछना पड़ेगा क्योंकि नैक में वो क्राइटेरियन है. पूछना पड़ेगा. सो आई फुली एग्री विद यू. मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट फंक्शन इज ऑफ कोर्स टीचिंग. लेकिन रिसर्च भी उतना ही इंपॉर्टेंट है. लेकिन हो ये रहा, जैसे मैंने आपको बताया, कि अभी भी ऐसे इंस्टीट्यूट्स हैं जहाँ पे रिसर्च ही होता है और टीचिंग बहुत कम होती है. लेकिन अगर रिसर्च हो रहा है उसको आप नॉलेज में नहीं लाओगे तो दैट नॉलेज विल बिकम डेड नॉलेज. तो ऐसा भी है, हमारे पास बहुत सारा डेड नॉलेज हो रहा है. रिसर्च हुई लेकिन स्टूडेंट तक नहीं पहुंचा, सिलेबस में नहीं आया. ठीक है. तो इसलिए टीचिंग इंटेंसिव मीन्स जहां पे मोर फोकस इज ऑन टीचिंग. लेकिन जैसे वहां पे रिसर्च का, इसका मतलब वो रिसर्च नहीं होगी ऐसा नहीं है. वहां पे रिसर्च एनवायरनमेंट होगा, वहां भी रिसर्च प्रोजेक्ट्स होंगी अकॉर्डिंग टू न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी. तो इसको टीचिंग इंटेंसिव उसको कहा. लेकिन जैसे जैसे रिसर्च बढ़ती जाएगी, दे विल पुट सर्टेन क्राइटेरिया. अगर इससे ज्यादा स्कोर आपका रिसर्च में हो जाता है, देन यू विल कॉल इट रिसर्च इंटेंसिव. दैट मीन्स टीचर्स का वर्कलोड जो है टीचिंग का वो कम हो जाएगा, रिसर्च का ज्यादा हो जाएगा. तो इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि जिसको इफ आई हैव कम्युनिकेटेड देन इट इज रॉन्गली कम्युनिकेटेड कि ए इज बेटर एंड, हाँ, ए इज बेटर एंड बी इज इंफीरियर. नो, ओनली थिंग इज कि हमारा एम्फेसिस कितना है. अब रिसर्च के ऊपर एम्फेसिस ज्यादा है, रिसर्च इंटेंसिव. टीचिंग के ऊपर ज्यादा है, टीचिंग इंटेंसिव. तो ये भी हो सकता है कि एक रिसर्च इंटेंसिव यूनिवर्सिटी कुछ सालों के बाद अगर वो रिसर्च उसका उस लेवल का नहीं हो रहा है तो इट बिकम्स टीचिंग इंटेंसिव. तो फिर वो टीचिंग में आगे बढ़े, टीचिंग का काम करें.
Yes, yes.
ठीक है ना?
And
That's what I mean.
sir, I would like to know from you, sir. Sir, most of the our problems are because of we are less with the moral values. I mean, we are less in the moral or moral education. We fail to impart to much extent. I guess if we could fix that somehow, we will get rid of much of our problems. So, do you think so? And what as a teacher, one or two things that I can ensure that I will not fail on that part. So your remarks around this. Yes, thank you.
I fully agree, and I strongly believe that education without moral values, without human values, is just like a fruit without a juice. It is just like a sugar without sweetness. Without sweetness, but sugar is, it is only sand, or a
Mm-hmm.
milk without ghee. So similar this, but no, लेकिन इस वर्ल्ड में क्या है, हम कहते हैं कि शुगर हो लेकिन उसमें मिठास ना हो, फल हो, रंग हो उसका अच्छा देखने को हो, अंदर कोई रस ना हो. So this is the tragedy of today. Humanity, I am not talking about only India. It is the human problem. अब आप देखिए, चाहे लुक एट द बिहेवियर ऑफ इंटरनेशनल हेड्स, लाइक चाहे वो ट्रम्प की ही बात देंगे, look at the behavior or the personality, the character of people in the business, in the industry. I'm talking about the leaders, business leaders, political leaders. So I fully agree with you, and I strongly feel that the essence, if a person has values, well, he can live a happy life, and that is the purpose of education. Even if one is illiterate, I come from the village, so I know. When I went after doing my PhD, one old man asked me, हाँ बेटा क्या कर लिया, पीएचडी कर ली, कितने क्लास होती है, उसको क्या बताना था तो बता दिया, 18-20 साल हो गया, 20-21 साल हो गया पढ़ते पढ़ते. सो तो उसने कहा देखो तुम पढ़ तो गया, कढ़ा नहीं, कढ़ा कढ़ा मीन्स जैसे आप दूध को जब करते हैं तो खोया बनता है ना उसका.
हाँ हाँ.
हाँ
Yes, sir.
ठीक है, तो वो नहीं बना ना, घी नहीं बना. सो घी कैसे बनेगा, तो उस वक्त मुझे समझ नहीं आया, लेकिन अब समझ में आया दैट एजुकेशन विदाउट वैल्यूज इज यूजलेस, इट इज डेंजरस. एंड आई थिंक ये जो डॉक्यूमेंट है, इस डॉक्यूमेंट के अंदर एट नंबर ऑफ प्लेसेस इट हैज बीन मेंशन, और यहाँ पे भी थोड़ा सा रेफरेंस दिया था कि जो हमारी ट्रेडिशनल विजडम है, जो हमारा एंशियंट कल्चर था, उसमें लिखा है कि इस डॉक्यूमेंट का गाइडिंग फोर्स विल बी आवर ट्रेडिशनल विजडम which was based on humanitarian society. Our society, our culture never differentiated people on the basis of religion, on the basis of caste, on the basis of region. No, they considered everyone human being. So the value of truth, satya, dharma, shanti, prem, these are the essential things. अगर हम आज जो प्रॉब्लम है सोसाइटी के अंदर, आई डेंट टच दैट एस्पेक्ट, कि एक बहुत बड़ा चैलेंज मैनेजमेंट के लिए है टू डील विद द प्रेजेंट जनरेशन. तो हमारी जो प्रेजेंट जनरेशन है, जो बच्चों की जो 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 अभी जनरेशन आ रही है, आप सभी अगर इट कैन बी ए फुल सेशन इफ वी सी, नो दे आर मिस गाइडेड, मिस डायरेक्टेड. वैल्यूज के नाम तो है ही नहीं, वैल्यू यही है, मनी हैज बिकम वैल्यू, so-called status has become value. So I fully agree with you, and I am very happy you uh, put this question. This is my favorite, and I believe that at this age, I feel very happy that I have lived a life with some principle, some value. So
Yes,
life
so
becomes valuable. Life
that
becomes valuable with the values only, not with the designation, not with the money. So please keep this thing in mind. Thank you.
yes, that reflected in many of the analogies and examples that you gave, na, that reflected that you are the moral person and value person that reflected, sir. And
Thank you.
truly it was amazing session, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much for these comments. Very encouraging. That's like a good leader. You have inspired me. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you
Roll
very
number
much.
44. Roll number 44.
मॅडम हॅलो.
Yes.
Hello.
हा येतोय आवाज.
येतोय
Hello?
सर येतोय. प्लीज वोट ऑफ थँक्स.
विश्वविद्यालय अनुदान आयोग MMTTC केंद्र छत्रपति संभाजीनगर के संयुक्त तत्वाधान में आयोजित अभिविन्यास और संवेदीकरण कार्यक्रम का आज का 10वां दिन और आज के प्रमुख संसाधन व्यक्ति योगेंद्र सिंह वर्मा जी, भूतपूर्व कुलपति केंद्रीय विश्वविद्यालय हिमाचल प्रदेश ने आज के अपने कार्यक्रम में NEP गवर्नेंस मैनेजमेंट ऑफ हायर एजुकेशन, एकेडमिक लीडरशिप, मेन इश्यू एंड challenges of governance and management, regulatory system, academic leadership और qualities of efficiency academic leadership के बारे में हमें बताया है। आपके प्रकांड ज्ञान से हमें लाभान्वित किया है। यह ज्ञान हमें जीवन भर कामयाब दिलाता रहेगा। अंततः हम MMTTC तथा सभी प्रतिभागियों की ओर से उनके प्रति कृतज्ञता ज्ञापित करते हैं। साथ ही इस केंद्र के जॉइंट डायरेक्टर के प्रति भी हम कृतज्ञता ज्ञापित करते हैं, जिनकी बदौलत समय समय पर हमें अच्छे संसाधन व्यक्ति के विचार हमें मिलते रहे तथा आभासी पटल पर जुड़े सभी प्रतिभागियों प्रति सहृदय कृतज्ञता ज्ञापित करता हूं और आज का ये सत्र यही समाप्त होता है। धन्यवाद।
Thank you very much. Thank you everyone,
very much, sir.
including director, assistant director, and all of you. It was really a pleasure to be with you. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. We have been blessed, sir, with your lecture.
Thank you.